So this is the aftermath from all the heat and drought that's been taking place here in Zone 8A North Texas. These were green Emerald Green Arborvitae, and even though they were watered every single day, the heat was just too much for them. In this area, we started to experience abnormal heat this year around the end of May, but early June really, and no rain. But you can see the difference between a tree or a plant that's adapted to harsh environments like that right there versus the Emerald Green Arborvitae. This is the second time that they suffer. These have been in the ground for about 4 years, these Emerald Green Arborvitae, but this is it. This is obviously it. If you see, they just come off. I don't think there's anything left in there. I mean, it would take years for something like this to recover. This one right here, this is the best tree I've had, the best Emerald Green Arborvitae. It never got brown over the, like, these got sunburned like 3 years ago, but this one never got any type of burn. But the excessive drought, and really it's more the heat, it just did them over. These 4 trees were planted 4 years ago, and no, they're not deciduous. They're not supposed to leave their leaves, drop their leaves. You can see a little bit of green there, but it would take, first of all, they're pretty much dead, but it would probably take years and years to recover. So, you know, I always try to give plants the benefit of the doubt, but you could obviously tell that this is it. We've had around 100 degrees or more for the last, since mid-June, basically all of July. And today is the first day we're starting to see a little bit. I believe this week we're getting rain every day, hopefully. We're getting a little sprinkle. Look at that Buddleia. Obviously adapted to harsh environments. It got watered every day, about a gallon. These got watered, but I mean, like I said, look at the difference between, you know, Arborvitae on the tag say full sun, but you know, you would believe that after 3 years of them being, actually 4 years of them being in the ground, they would take the heat. But obviously, there might be full sun up north in the United States where they're grown probably, but down here in the North Texas area, you know, and amazingly, so these were casualties of this summer heat and drought. Amazing. This one, these hydrangeas actually did pretty good. Yeah, we got some dry ones, but you know, they held up decent. This is the worst time of the year for them, but even then, for them to be more hardy than an Emerald Green Arborvitae, you know. Look, some of these are still nice. The other one's also doing okay. A little burnt, but this Dragon Prince Cryptomeria also got burnt. It lost a couple of limbs, but it's gonna make it. And I put it in the shade. And then this is it looks like an alocasia of some sort. I didn't plant it there. It volunteered itself. Dwarf Alberta spruce, even in shade, it lost a lot. You know, the heat was just too much. So I'm not sure if it's gonna make it, but it has some new growth in it, so it might make it. This is a Camellia sasanqua, and I mean, It destroyed it, but it's gotten some new growth, so I'm gonna leave it in here. Japanese maple, still doing okay. The Snow Mountain Pieris looks like it's struggling. It lost some foliage. Also, it's got a lot of yellowing. The Fatsia japonica, amazingly so, it looks like it's doing okay. But look at this one. This one's also kept in shade, watered. It got a little bit of yellow leaves, but it's blooming again. This is Gardenia, and it looks, just with the overcast, it looks like it got quite a bit happy. This right here is a mugo pine, and it's holding on. I could see new growth, new needles, but actually a lot of the older ones just, you know, crisp. Remember, this has been in direct sun for like 8 to 10 hours. Direct sun. 100 degrees weather for about almost 2 months straight with no rain. It did get water, you know, every day. This is Indian Hawthorn. You can see leaf burn. I'm not sure how this one's gonna do because it struggled this summer. Hopefully it'll grow quite a bit more next spring, but it doesn't. It also struggles in the winter. So this one might, you know, the plants in this area, like in the last 2 years, we've been -2, and then from -2 to 110 this year. So you're looking at 112 temperature difference. So for a plant to survive, you know, it's got to be adapted or at least tolerate. I'm gonna do a video of the plants that, you know, amazingly so have survived or thrived in this heat. But this year has been a task. This right here is a autumn blaze maple. It's planted 2 years ago. It did really well last year. Right now it lost, I would say, more than 50% of its leaves due to the heat and drought. It was being watered, but you know, it was just, the heat was just too much. I've checked, you know, did the scratch test and also the bend test, and it's still alive, so I'm guessing it's a form of defense. We're just trying to survive, but it looks pretty bad. It should be okay, hopefully. And here I have 2 Schumer Oaks that we planted in this project that we had, and we planted out in the open, like in May. Watered them every day, and they were losing leaves at a super fast rate. Stems were turning completely brown, so we had to cut them off, and I had to dig them out, and we're nursing them back to health, and they're doing good now. All these are casualties of this extreme heat and drought. I have learned some stuff though over, you know, basically gardening is a big experiment for everyone that's doing it. You find out what works, what doesn't work. But like, one thing is the Emerald Green Arborvitae require too much water, and to be honest, they shouldn't even be planted in Zone 8A. I didn't know much about them when I planted them. I mean, the tag said full sun, but you know, it's kind of interesting. You know, you'll have a new opportunity to grow something different, change the look. But I just hate that I'm not going to get to see them full, you know, and large. And then also another thing I learned is if you want to try to do some type of formal gardening, you know, you lose something, it's kind of hard to replace. So there's going to be some changes coming. And anyway, this video is a quick video of the casualties of gardening and, you know, extreme drought and heat.